So thanks for joining me at Handlebars and Holidays again. Welcome back. And today we have the huge pleasure of taking out the brand new Yamaha MT10SP. This is the top of the wazzer, so this is going to be very, very interesting. Huge thanks to Cully's Yamaha in Balcatta for the loan of this bike today. Great shop. If you live in Perth in Western Australia, pop in and see the guys at Cully's. Really nice guys, fantastic shop, huge stock, huge accessory and clothing department, but really, really nice guys. And you know what, the main thing is they're not pushy, the sales staff there, they're really, really nice people. Anyway, let's hop off the bike, have a quick look around. Okay, so here we are with the 2022 MT10SP. This is the top of the wazzer, the all singing, all dancing model. And as is always the case, I'm not going to get too much into specifications. I'll throw a few figures up on the screen now. But what my intention to do here is to give you a little bit of an idea of what this bike is like, just from Joe Bloggs' point of view, your average rider who might want to use this as a bit of a fun machine, possibly a little bit of commuting, and probably more than anything, a bit of a weekend warrior type bike. But what a lovely looking machine this really is, very aggressive. Okay, so let's hop back on, do a few more Ks, and see what we think of it. Okay. So first things first, let's talk about the ergonomics, the seating position and such like. So as regular viewers to my channel will know, I recently parted with actually an MT09SP. That was a 2020 model, so this is the bigger version and the newer model of the same bike, so to speak. So I've been quite looking forward to riding the MT10SP, and naturally I'm going to draw comparisons, I suppose. The first thing that strikes you is the foot peg height seems a little bit higher. I'm a little bit more scrunched up. I'm certainly leant forward a little bit more. I've got a little bit more weight on my hands. Not that either of those two things are particularly an issue. I noticed them when I first threw my leg over the bike, but having been on the bike for 45 minutes or so now, everything feels quite normal, feels quite nice, it's quite relaxed. Bar width is nice. Instrumentation, I think we've got a 4.2 inch LCD screen, which is all very nice. Actually, I'm not sure whether that's LCD or TFT, to be honest. But yeah, quite informative there, tells you everything you need to know. This bike is absolutely laden with electronics. I think it's got a 6-axis IMU, so lean sensitive traction control and ABS, obviously riding modes which are configurable, cruise control, quick shift it up and down. Essentially, I don't think there's anything that this hasn't got. But just from the thing that surprised me initially is just riding through the streets in the traffic. I imagined this to feel a little bit more aggressive than it does. What I mean by that is you can ride it quite comfortably in traffic, and it's very acceptable, very, very acceptable. I've just come down the coast there, I wasn't filming at the time, in quite a lot of traffic, and it was stop start, and absolutely fine. You imagine it to be a bike that's a little bit less happy doing that type of thing, but no, it was good. Quick shifter, up and down, seems very smooth. Not really had the opportunity to use it properly yet, because it's all basically been slow speed stuff at the moment, but we'll try and find some little bit nicer roads and see what this beast feels like and sounds like and does. But yeah, very impressed so far. So as opposed to the standard MT10, the 10SP has the belly pan and a few other little bits of body work and is just spruced up a little bit more. I'm not too sure whether there's many other differences, but it's certainly got that nicer look about it. It's a little bit less raw. Ride away price in Australia is off the top of my head 27,000 something. I'll throw that up on screen just now just to clarify. This is just what you want, isn't it? Sitting behind a learner in a Suzuki Swift on a 1000cc monster machine like this. We've all been there. We've all been a learner at some time. Never stop learning. One thing that I did notice about this bike almost as soon as I started riding it is it would certainly benefit from some sort of mirror extenders or maybe bar end mirrors, because these mirrors give you a pretty unrivaled view of your elbows. I would say 60–70% of the mirror is filled with my arms. So just to get them that little bit further out, or some bar end mirrors or something, would be certainly worth the few dollars that would cost. Although the bike is very happy in these little suburban roads doing very suburban speeds, you can just tell it's a bike that's wanting to get out there and show you what it can do. It feels lovely in terms of handling. So this SP model has the semi-active automatic adjusting suspension. So depending on what mode you're in, and I believe how you were riding at the time, the suspension adapts itself to give you the best of everything, which is just amazing, the technology that's going into these bikes these days. You know what they're capable of. Let's be honest, I mean, it far exceeds what I'm capable of. I think a lot of us buy these types of bikes and actually in reality we tap into their abilities to the tune of probably about 30 or 40%, which is it's kind of ridiculous really, isn't it? You know, so as is always the case, I'm not going to get too involved in all the various settings and modes and adjustments and things that you can do on this bike. We could spend 2 hours just talking about all that, so I'm going to leave that to one side and just concentrate on the general rideability, what it feels like, try and convey that really. The seat actually feels quite firm, but it's firm in a comfy firm sort of way. It doesn't feel hard and unpleasant. Whether it's actually a gel seat, I'm not sure, but it does feel, I do feel a little bit like I've kind of sank into it a bit, and it feels nice. The seat feels relatively flat. It's not sliding me down towards the tank. I'm not crushing the uncrushables. Everything's good in that department. It's just a nice looking bike. As you sit here, it's all very nice. This of course is my pet hate, as I've said many times. I think they could always be made to look nicer, but everything else is pretty good. In terms of wind protection, there's basically none. The little bikini fairing there on the front, I think, is purely cosmetic. It's not helping with any sort of wind protection that I can tell anyway. So you're reliant on your helmet being as quiet and non-buffeting as possible, but that's fine. Switch gear is all nice and clear, and no issues there. Everything's basically where you expect it to be. Nothing weird or out of place. So this is a quick shifter blipper on this bike, and I assume it to perhaps be a different make than was on my MT09 SP. maybe not, I'm not sure, but it certainly seems a little bit smoother at lower revs. I still can't get off the main roads, but in your normal day-to-day riding, it is a shifter and blipper that you can use on the normal roads. It's not clunky or too nasty. They all work better at higher revs, obviously, but it is quite nice. Nice and easy to drop the bike into neutral. It seems to find neutral very easily. Always suffer with a bit of pins and needles in my right hand, which is why cruise control is pretty much a must for me these days. I'll just give you an idea of what this sounds like, just short shifting through the gears if I can, because the induction noise is quite amazing. Just hopefully the camera picks this up. It's a lovely sound. It really is a lovely sound. It's very, very sure-footed. It just feels so planted. It's very confidence-inspiring. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this one up for today. That's been a really enjoyable morning playing with the MT10SP. A very, very impressive machine. Again, I'd like to thank Cully's Yamaha at Balcatta for the loan. Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, I suppose in summary, this is one hell of a bike. I think this is capable. It's incredibly capable. It's capable of scaring you a little bit. It's capable of giving you a tremendous amount of fun, but it's also very capable of being quite a mild-mannered gentleman when you want it to be. So yeah, I think it wouldn't be out of the question to do a bit of commuting on this bike, a daily driver or whatever, and just a lot of fun at the weekend. So yeah, this is everything that my MT09SP was and more. If the 09SP was a 8 out of 10, this is a 10 out of 10. Quick shifter's much better. It actually seems more comfortable, to be honest. I mean, I'm comparing it with the slightly older 09SP. Mine was a 2020. But yeah, this is more comfortable. I think the ergonomics has worked well for this bike. So yeah, superb. Absolutely superb. Lots and lots of fun. So thanks again. Thanks for joining me at Handlebars and Holidays. I hope it's been enjoyable. It's been a fairly short one, this one, but stick around. Lots more interesting things to come. Take care, and as always, ride safe.